Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the last topic in Essay 200, that is overall objectives of an independent auditor and conduct of an audit in accordance with standards on auditing. Today what we are going to discuss in this video is, first one is inherent limitations to audit and next one is conduct of an audit in accordance with standards on auditing. So as we discussed before, now today we are going to discuss about first topic number one, that is inherent limitations of an audit. As we said before, as an auditor we need a we need a reasonable assurance. Reasonable assurance is nothing but high level of assurance. Why we are not able to provide absolute assurance? Due to inherent limitations of an audit, auditor cannot provide absolute assurance, that is 100% assurance. What are these inherent limitations? Let us discuss. First one is nature of financial reporting, and second one is nature of audit procedures, and third one is the need for the audit to be conducted with a reasonable period of time and at a reasonable cost. Let us go into the detailed discussion. And the first one is nature of financial reporting. The financial statement preparation involves many judgments, right, and assumptions. Generally we prepare the financial statement based upon many, right? As a management, it involves preparation involves many judgments and assumptions which may vary considerably from one entity to another entity. Means it will automatically change from one entity to another entity depending upon its situations or environment. The judgments may also differ. Hence, the statement may get materially misstated, which may not be easily rectified by the management. For example, accounting estimates such as life of assets, provision for doubtful debts, and net realizable value of inventory. These are the examples of the nature of financial reporting. And the next one is nature of audit procedures. As we said before, as an auditor, we need sufficient appropriate audit evidence to express an opinion on the financial statements. Okay. Further, due to legal and practical limitation, the auditor may not be obtained required evidence. Okay, due to some practical and legal limitations. Normal audit procedures may not be effective. In such cases, normal audit procedures may not be effective to detect the fraud and errors. So we need to apply, in such cases we need to perform additional procedures. Okay, the nature of audit procedures is determined by using the auditor's professional judgment. Means in such circumstance, when we didn't get sufficient appropriate audit evidence on the basis of normal audit procedures, we need to perform additional procedures. This is also one of the inherent limitations of an audit. And the next one, time cost benefit. That is the need for the audit to be conducted with a reasonable period of time and at a reasonable cost. The auditor cannot escape saying that time and cost as a reason for not obtaining sufficient appropriate audit evidence, even when there is no alternative procedure. As an auditor, you should plan. So you should plan your audit and you should perform within a reasonable time. As we said, as an auditor, you need to prepare audit report. That audit report needs to submit in the AGM, that annual general meeting of the company, or some other meeting that you should be placed before your intended users of the financial statement, that is shareholders. So however, due to certain external factors, audit should be completed within a limited period of time. As we said, that is some legal, means there are some due dates, right? Because of that due dates, as an auditor, you need to prepare the audit, or you need to complete the audit within a stipulated time. Next, other limitations of audit, that is frauds involving senior management. So senior management itself, they itself involved in the fraud. In such cases, as an auditor, we don't know, right? Whatever the information given by the management, we will take it and we will do further. Means we will believe, right? When we rely on the internal controls and the senior management involved in such kind of fraud, it may be difficult for the auditor to conduct an audit. Okay, this is also one of the inherent limitations of an audit. Next one, entity ability to a going concern. So regarding going concern will also affect inherent limitation of an audit. And next one is extent of related party transaction. So related party transaction may also affect the auditor inherent limitation of an, it is also one of the part of inherent limitation of an audit. Okay, this is regarding about inherent limitations of an audit. And the next one is conduct of an audit in accordance with standards on auditing. There's three topics. First one is object stated in individual assets, and second one is complying with relevant requirements, and third one is failure to achieve an object. Okay, as an auditor, the auditor should comply with all standards on auditing relevant to the audit. Means whatever the standards that are relevant to the audit, we need to comply. Okay, we need to comply with each and everything. So let us discuss with the topic number one, that is objective stated in individual assets. Generally, to achieve the overall objectives of the auditor, right? What do you mean by overall object? As we discussed in the previous video, overall to obtain reasonable assurance, to express opinion, and to report everything. These all are overall objectives. Okay, to achieve the overall objectives of the auditor shall use the objective stated in relevant essays in planning and as well as in performing the audit. What are the objectives? First one, determine whether any audit procedures in addition to those required by the essays are necessary in pursuance of objectives and stated in the essays. So generally we follow some audit procedure for obtaining sufficient appropriate audit evidence, that is compliance procedure or substantive procedure. But in some essays they will specifically mention to follow some additional procedures. In such circumstances, as an auditor, that is our objective to perform such additional procedures. Next one, evaluate whether sufficient appropriate audit evidence has been obtained. So we should evaluate whether we obtain sufficient appropriate evidence or not, right? Here in such circumstances we use professional judgment, as we discussed in the previous video. Okay, and the next topic is complying with relevant requirements. The auditor shall comply with each requirement of essay. So we need to follow every requirement of whatever the essay said. We need to follow everything unless in the circumstances. But there are some circumstances. First one is the entire essay is not relevant. When the entire standard is not relevant, we need not to comply. Okay, and the requirement is not relevant because it is a conditional. Okay, conditional means conditional, as you know before, condition means you know that. So if it is conditional, you need not to follow, and that condition does not exist. When there is no such condition, you need not to follow. Okay, but in exceptionally rare circumstances, the auditor may judge it is necessary to depart from a relevant requirement of in an essay. So generally, as we said, we need to follow everything whatever they mention in the standard. But in some exceptional cases, the auditor may depart from that requirement. Okay, the auditor perform alternative procedures to achieve the aim of that requirement. In such circumstances, auditor will perform additional procedures. Okay, and the last topic is failure to achieve the object. Okay, if as an auditor you need to obtain the objectives of the independent auditor, right? What are the objectives that are mentioned in the essay? You need to achieve everything. If you achieve the objects mentioned in the essay, if you didn't mention, if you didn't achieve such objective, okay, what is your duty? What you need to do? You didn't achieve the objective mention the specific essay. So what you, as an auditor, what you have to do? Whether you need to modify your opinion, means you need to qualify, means you need to modify your opinion. What do you mean by modification of opinion? You will discuss in essay 700 series. And next one is withdraw from the engagement. Means you should withdraw from that audit. Means as an auditor, you need to withdraw from that engagement. These are the two options that are available to you when you didn't achieve the objective of an auditor. Failure to achieve an objective represents a significant matter requiring documentation. So everything will cover under regarding that documentation will cover under S230. Okay, SA230, that is audit documentation. So here Today we have discussed regarding Today we have discussed regarding inherent limitations of an audit and conduct of an audit in accordance with standards and auditing. Okay, and with this video we have completed the standard SA 200, that is overall objectives of an independent auditor and conduct of an audit in accordance with standards and auditing. In my point of view, I think I have covered entire clear and detailed concepts on SA 200. If you have any queries or any doubts regarding that or any further explanation regarding SA 200, please contact me. Thank you.